You do not understand what money actually is and how it works. And unfortunately, the system is manipulating you like a little bitch. Most people live like pathetic slaves because they really do not understand the real definition of money. So in this video, I want to explain to you the metaphysical definition of money, or spiritual if you wish, because the definition that you probably have for money, it's some sort of bullshit definition that you learned in university, in school, or perhaps from an online guru, right? This is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. Even if you look at the most successful people on the planet, the richest people on the planet, they do not understand what money actually is. And this is the reason why so many people live in this scarcity kind of mindset, or perhaps you even have a good amount of cash saved, right? But still, you don't feel free. You don't feel like you're actually living your life, or you maybe you don't feel like you're living to your fullest potential. So I'm talking about happiness, fulfillment, actually feeling good, having like a real purpose, not just like some sort of surface level business goal or life goal, but like, you know why you're living this life, like what for, and so on and so on. All right. Quick announcement. If you want to get paid to exist, doing what you love, check the first link in the description. I'm not going to explain more. If you want it, you can check it out. So let's get straight to the point. I want to start with actually debunking one of the biggest myths when it comes to the money, right? So most of you have a definition which looks probably something like this, right? So this is like the low level work, right? So really poor. I'm going to simplify. Then we have something like middle class, right? So Europe, US, mid class, and then maybe like something like top. And then you have this like 1%, 1%, the elite. I'm gonna do quote unquote elite, right? This is how people think about money. You think that there's competition, you think that you have to struggle for money, or that you have to work, or that you have to put some sort of an effort. I'm going to give you the spiritual definition of money actually. So imagine that we exist in this very high-tech level simulation. I'm not talking about like mathematical simulation, but think of it as God's mind, right? So we live in the mind of the God, right? So this is the reality. And reality, it is infinite, right? So there's infinite amount of potential. You can literally do anything that you want. And if reality is literally everything and you exist in this reality, it's not like you are here and this is the the world, right? No, you exist inside this reality, right? So if reality is abundant, it has everything, all the opportunities, all the possibilities. You exist in this reality. Now let me ask you this question. Why do you think that you have to work, or you have to suffer, or you have to earn, right? You don't have to do it. You really do not have to do it, because you are not a slave, right? You're not a slave. You are a creator. We could say a God. And it doesn't really matter what you do in life. A creator, a God, I would say, if you wish. It doesn't really matter how you call it. I'm just saying that you have all the capabilities to create anything that you want, any amount of money in your business, and any reality. So let me ask you this question. If reality is abundant, like everything that you see, right? If we all exist inside this reality, you can call this a God, you can call this like this infinite intelligence. It doesn't really matter like how you call it, because I'm not like really trying to give you a specific term, but think about this concept that if we live inside this infinite consciousness, how can you let me find this. How can you work? How can you suffer? How can you earn money? You don't have to earn the money because it's your birthright. As simple as it is, because unfortunately most people live in this very scarcity kind of mindset where they block themselves from what they want. So let's imagine two people, right? So this person number one, and we have the money, that could be love, that could be like literally anything, right? Something more here, right? If person number one, if you think that you deserve anything that you want just because, you don't have to explain the reason to this fucking reality to other people, right? You're gonna experience that, right? Or we could say you're gonna get it, experience whatever, right? Because you're not blocking this flow that, okay, I can have it, I can have what I want. And most people think that in order for them to make money, they have to work, right? Or they have to earn. Fucking toxic. I hate these words, right? So what is happening here on the like fundamental spiritual level, you're basically just blocking it, right? You're just blocking it. Because all this shit, working, earning, it is no more than just a mental construction. It's a mental thought. It's a mental thought, right? Okay, let's go to the next point. So the metaphysics of money, as I have this in my script. One really good example that I wanted to give you. There's really no person on the planet, if there's like a fucking teacher in the university, or if there's like Warren Buffett, like anyone who you are mentally masturbating to, thinking, oh, like these guys, these are gurus, they're so smart, and so on, right? All these people, they don't fucking understand what money actually is, and no one really understands it. It's such a small percentage of people who really understand the metaphysics of money, right? We're gonna get there. It's just like the intro for the video. And think about the reason why no one is teaching you how money actually works, like what it really is and how it works, because they don't know. They live inside this, let's call this the matrix, right? Matrix system. And if you live inside, even like a high level guy, we could say like right here, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, like all these guys, they still live inside this. This is a cage, right? It's such a small cage compared to the infinite intelligence, what I just described, right? You live inside this reality. You are the reality itself, right? Have you ever noticed that the more that you relax, right? When you relax, you get the things that you want, whether that's in business, in life, in general. So I want to use this example to illustrate the money principle. And as we get to the next chapters, it's going to be even more interesting, because these are just the basics, right? When you relax, what's happening on the fundamental level, there's no need, right? There's no need, no rush, and there's no attachment. And when you're not attached to anything, for me, that's the point of neutrality. You are good as you are right now. So I could say I have more than enough. And this is the most sexy frequency that you can ever have, or like you can, how would I call this, like you can translate to this reality, right? Because when you have this, like I'm very relaxed, there's no rush, there's no need, even like I'm actually, I mean, even when things do not go as planned, you still like, I don't give a fuck, like in a good way. Not like in a discouraged way, but more like, okay, you know what? I'm good no matter what. And when you relax, what you are showing to the reality is that I am abundance, right? I can use resources. I can use like the energy, the resources, and the things that I get from my reality to actually expand my consciousness, right? To experience nice things. So when you are relaxing, when you do not need. It's like when reality becomes this bitch that is literally going to give you everything that you want the moment that you stop needing it. So I'm not really saying that you should stop wanting. This is not the point. You can want something, but you're not attached to the result. And this is when the universe starts giving you and bringing you everything that you want, right? So, okay, let's go to the chapter 2, and this is not just about the money, but this is the first principle from the Kybalion Hermetic principles, the mentalism principle, right? So the way that this reality operates on the fundamental level, right? It's literally, you could apply this to anything, right? So this is this reality works, right? So let me give you this idea. So we have a thought, right? I thought, or we could say I state, right? Pretty similar. Then what happens next is mental plane. So you translate that to a mental plane. So you think something, right? Then there's I'm going to write quote unquote, the time delay. And then it turns into physical experience, right? So let me explain and give you some examples. Imagine that you're creating a product in your business. That could be like an Apple Pencil, that could be a phone, that could be a supplement, literally anything, right? So first, what happens is you are thinking about it in your imagination, in the consciousness, right? You are thinking about it. Then you are thinking it, and it goes to that mental plane, right? So imagine what I just said about the money and the infinite consciousness. Like you live inside infinite consciousness. There are some analogies in Bible. I'm not gonna quote Bible in this video, but I want to start doing that just to give you like two levels of context. So number one, it's the Hermetical principles, and then the Bible, because everyone knows Bible for sure, and there's a lot of things that you can actually learn from Bible if you know how to read it, right? So let's go back to the point. You think about something, you create a product. So first it appears in your mind or in your head, to simplify. Then it goes to the mental plane, right? And for me, mental plane, imagine it's like there's infinite field of opportunities, possibilities, and what you're doing, you're just selecting by focusing on a specific reality. You're just selecting that. So every thought that you have, think of it as writing a code, and this is for my dear software engineers and guys in computer science, right? Then what happens, this is what we call the time delay. But time delay, it's technically like time it gets you to translate or take this idea from your imagination and translate it to a real world, right? So that could be actually building a product and creating a strategy, and then what else, like shipping, testing, all that stuff. This is what I call the time delay. But technically, there's no time delay on a fundamental level, so infinite consciousness, because everything exists at the same time, like infinite opportunities, infinite possibilities. It's just the way that you perceive this reality, right? It's like what we call the three-dimensional reality, so that you could actually experience all the steps between the thought, the mental plane, the time delay, and then the physical experience, right? So this is how all this reality is designed, right? The stars, everything, the matter. Like this is a whole video on its own, but I just wanted to give you like a little bit of the basic context so that we could take this and continue with the money. I'm gonna actually do like a full video on that too. So money. Let's write this. If everything is mental, money is reflection of your state, right? It's a literal reflection of your state. So you probably have some people, or you probably met some people who are always complaining about like, oh, like the government, the politics, the economy, whatever, right? And usually these kind of people, they do not have any success in life, or they probably struggle with money. Why? Because they live in this fucking scarcity. But think about this. If you are infinite consciousness, a part of the God, or the eye of the God, doesn't really matter how you call this, you have all the capabilities of the God as well, right? And you can create the illusion, right? Let me give you this as two examples. So we have illusion number one, and this is going to be the person number one, and illusion of being poor, right? Thing is, it still exists inside this infinite consciousness, right? And you just created this bubble in your mind. It is not that the universe is against you. It is not that it's unfair. It is not that there's competition. Like, it's just you are creating this shit. As ridiculous as it sounds, most of you bitches, you like to suffer, you like to struggle, you like to find an excuse why you can't get the things that you want, right? Just because you're trying to find a reason that you have to earn, you have to, like, this thing has to happen, or like this competition, all this bullshit. But in reality, because everything is mental, you're just creating this very silly little illusion. And then we have people on the other end of the spectrum, right? There's a literal abundance. And then it's technically absolutely the same thing. The only difference is that you are creating this illusion. But it's still, like, think about this. Anything that you have in your life, your money, your business, your health, your relationship, your whatever, it is a reflection of your mental plane. It was first created in your mind, like mentally you started thinking about that. And then, well, it just manifested into your reality. You materialized it, right? So if you believe in competition, if you believe in scarcity, if you believe in what else, in crisis, or you believe in hard work, now guess what's gonna happen? You just created these, what I call the mental viruses, and you just executed them in your brain, right? So what you are actually creating, you are shooting yourself in the foot. The reality is not against you. It's that you are a mental pervert, a masochist, just because you're constantly thinking. Bitch, you can have anything that you want in this fucking reality if you just say so. If you just tell this reality how you want to be treated, the things that you want, and so on, right? But most of you've been fucking socially conditioned, brainwashed into this scarcity kind of mindset. I don't give a fuck if that was in school, your parents, your friends, like literally anyone. It doesn't matter. And you can watch this video and you can go fucking do what you were doing before, right? Oh, this is all bullshit. I'm not gonna believe in that. Okay, well, go live your life, right? And the funny thing is, again, everything that I'm saying in this video, it does not apply to people who are like poor, right? I'm actually talking to every social class. You could be middle class and you can benefit from this information. You can be like a millionaire, you can benefit from this information. You can be a poor, middle class, whatever, right? Because this is the metaphysics. This is like the design of this reality. Believe it or not, right? Whether you believe it or not, this shit actually works because it does. It's fundamental principle. Okay. Now, let's go to the next thing. I just want to summarize. This point. So money, it is not. So let's write like this. It is not the value that you create for the economy. It is not the time that you spend on a product, right? It is not what else? Money. I'm going to give you the definition. Money is the reflection of your, number one, that's going to be passion, joy, so how much you enjoy your reality, relaxation, right? So basically, money, I would say we could write this another definition, is the energy of joy, right? And when you start treating it this way, and when you start focusing on the things that actually make you happy, like I'm gonna give you this example. It is so funny, actually, like in a good way. I really enjoy making these videos. Number one, because I enjoy talking about this. Well, like number one, with myself. I'm gonna give you this a very raw and authentic point. I don't give a fuck about the viewer. Like, I don't give a fuck about you who watching this. Literally. You can fuck off right now, never watch my content again. And not because like I'm I am aggressive or like I'm arrogant or anything like that. It's more like what I'm trying to illustrate. It's I just do these kind of videos solely just because for fun, just because it's interesting, just because I feel like I'm actually giving like a new perspective on some of the ideas that this reality operates by, right? So, okay, now let's go to the next point. This is going to be section 3, block 3, and what we're going to do here is we're going to compare the classical like sort of the hustle culture or the normie approach, right? Let's compare this. Number one is going to be control and rush, so like rushing. And this is where most people live. This is where you exist. Have you ever thought about, or maybe you experienced that yourself, that let's say you got till the point where you actually you met all your needs, all your wants, right? So like you got a nice car, you got a nice house, you got like nice things, hobbies, I don't know, maybe like tech, whatever you like, right? And then like what's next? What's the point? And then some people burn out, some people start taking some substances, antidepressants or something, you know, drugs, whatever, right? Think about millionaires who have like literally millions, and they still operate at the level of a spiritual bankrupt, spiritual peasant. It's like you have the money, but you're still rushing. You're still rushing because you think you have to compete, because you think you have limited time, like all this bullshit that this reality is feeding you with, right? And you're just taking it. Like you're just taking it as a submissive little bitch. All the beliefs that are not benefiting you, most people are just taking it just like this, right? Again, it's all mental, right? You can create the reality that you want, or you can either, you know, live by your own rules. Okay, so let me explain these two approaches, I would say. So number one, what I want to talk about here is the reason why it never works to control, to rush, to pressure your reality is when you really when you try to go with force, is because there's too much attachment, right? Attachment, then there's need, and there's too much importance. And because this reality is mental, it is always trying to balance the reality. If something is so important for you, whether that's like a specific business goal, right? If it's so important for you that like you are trying, you are pushing, you are forcing, like you are exhausting yourself both like mentally, maybe you're like sitting like mentally masturbating, or you call this with a, like you put a badge of honor on yourself and you call this work, like I'm hustling, I'm working, I'm really grinding. No, you're fucking retard. You're a fucking retard who's been manipulated by this system, right? And because there's attachment, need, and importance on the things, if you have ego goals inside your business, like hitting a specific fucking number just because, right? Because you think that once you hit 100 million, then you're gonna be happy, you're gonna retire, like whatever, right? No, you idiot. You're just gonna keep grinding. If you have an ego goal inside your business, well, that's just gonna be an ego goal. Again, it's coming from this control, from rush, and honestly, this is all just existential crisis. Most of you bitches, you don't have the business. You have an existential crutch. That could be a fear of death in most cases. When you're searching for a reason, like why do I exist? Why do I live? What's the point of life? And most people, you start a business, not because you're really passionate about it, not because it makes you happy, not because it is fun, but purely to fucking close this existential gap inside your soul. Something to think about. By the way, watch some other videos on my channel about this. It's gonna be pretty deep, right? Now, once you fucking relax your ass, right? When you just relax, what happens is there's no need, no pressure, no rush, and no importance. Have you ever noticed that when you really don't care about something and then you get it easily? This is exactly how this universe, how this reality is designed. You don't have to fucking suffer. You don't have to rush. You don't have to force yourself to do the things that you do not want. Think about this. You're letting all this fucking garbage from the outside reality, some other business gurus, other like experienced people in this industry, like fuck everyone, literally. I don't give a fuck about what anyone says in this reality. You could be like Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, I don't give a fuck. And most people, what you do is you are mentally masturbating to authorities instead of being your own authority, instead of deciding, you know what, I can have as much as I want in this life, whatever I want, right? If it's a true desire to you, right? There's always abundance in your reality. You always had more than enough, and you are the only one who is creating the illusion of scarcity, the illusion of hard work, the illusion of whatever, right? So when are you just gonna say fuck off to this control, fucking cortisol, stressful entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is easy. And if you think entrepreneurship is hard, well, you're just retarded. I'm sorry, but you're just retarded. You've been manipulated. And what's sad sometimes, instead of just, you know, being open-minded, some people start arguing and you find excuses against yourself. Fucking watch your mind. Watch your mind. What do you think about yourself? What do you think about money? And sit and fucking be honest with yourself. Because most of you bitches, you are mentally masturbating, that's number one. And most of you are mental masochists, mental perverts. Like you're sitting in this fucking hamster wheel loop when you are mentally masturbating your thoughts. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's funny. I fucking love this. Love this meme on my channel. And what? And what? Do you have results that you can show that hard work equals success? Let me ask you a question. This is going to be a big one. Let's say that it's just like a funny example. Let's say you can have $10 million, $100 million. Just imagine the number that you want. And then in the first case, you have to work hard. You have to fucking grind. You have to hustle for like 3-5 years, right? And then you earn the right to own the $1 million, right? And then the second example, option B, is you just get 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, right? Just because, right? You would probably pick option B But most people are so mentally perverted, you're such mental perverts that you literally pick option A in your life. Like, why? Because you believe in scarcity, because system is manipulating you, right? Okay. Now, stop living in this fucking illusion. Stop living in scarcity. And when you actually understand the metaphysics of money, that like when you relax, when you just have fun in your life, like you get more money, you get more opportunities, you get more ideas, right? One of the examples that I wanted actually to leave for the end of this video, I'm gonna link these two videos in the comments or like in the description somewhere. And after watching this video, go ahead and watch it again, right? So we have this guy, so his name is Greg. He's currently, like, the guy runs a supplement company, which is like really booming right now. The guy does like $600 million in revenue. I don't know how much of that is profit, but like he's successful on the paper, right? And I watched two of his videos and I was like, wow, that would be such a great example to just show everyone that even the most successful people, they are fucked. They are living in this scarcity. They are living in this deficit illusion, right? So number one, the belief number one, I'm not proud of who I am right now, but I'm proud of who I am becoming, right? Think about this. If you are not proud of who you are right now, just because, right, the way that you are, what you are actually creating, and I'm gonna again illustrate this visually. So what you are actually creating is the gap between where you are and where you want to be, right? So let's happy, smiley, right? This is the ideal version. Okay, so you are creating this gap, but this gap, it's the illusion. It's the illusion because it is mental. There's technically no distance between where you want to be and where you are right now, but it's the such a bad example of not accepting yourself as you are, right? So you think that you're not worthy, you think that you're not whole, and this is unfortunately what I see amongst pretty, like, you know, successful people, all this like young millionaires, all these like guys who are, you know, preaching this fucking winner lifestyle. You have the millions but not a fucking soul. You have the millions but not a fucking spirit and just like passion, joy in your life, right? This is all just a fucking existential crutch, right? And most of you live in this illusion. If you're not happy, if you're not loving yourself for who you are right now in this present moment, if you're broke or if you are whatever, you don't have to be broke. It's just like obviously one of the first examples that I'm thinking about, but you could be successful. And if you don't love yourself, if you do not, like, let me give you this example. If you cannot stand in the front of the mirror, like look at yourself and say, I am pure fucking perfection. I am perfection. Just because I said so, right? Think about that in society. When you say so, people are gonna get fucking butt hurt, right? People are gonna call you a narcissist. But again, let's go back to some of the previous points. If infinite intelligence, it's literally like everything. It's all, like it's you and I, it's this reality, it's all the matter, it's infinite intelligence, right? This entity. How can it be poor? How can it, can a God be poor? Yes, because God is so powerful that he can create the illusion of him being poor. And you're doing the same to your life. So whether you are, you know, making good money with your business, whether you are maybe you're poor, middle class, whatever, right? Just giving you all the spectrum. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. So what you are, like, going back to this example, so what the guy is literally doing, he's basically like running like a donkey and the carrot, right? He's always running. It's somewhere, it's this like projection, it's the future, but future does not exist. Future does not exist. So he's basically just unhappy in the present moment. And unless you you decide that I am the ideal version, I am worthy of having everything that I want in my business, in my life, whatever, right? Nothing is going to change. Okay? It's really going to click after you watch this video, if you actually want to, because I don't want to give you some, I was thinking as I was writing the script for this video, I don't want to digest everything for you, right? I want you to actually think, right? I'm obviously giving you the the shortest path to success in life, like spiritually, mentally, business wise, and so on. But again, if you don't think for yourself, you're not gonna get anywhere, right? So the second belief that I wanted to break down from his videos is burn the bridges and sort of give yourself no option. And what he was talking about in the video is he was giving an example where he announced his goals publicly. So what the guy is doing is basically using fear, embarrassment as fuel, right? So let's actually fear of failing to actually fuel growth. So instead of relying on, actually feeling good, right? Let me give you an example. So I haven't made videos in like a while. It could be like sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's a couple of days, sometimes it's 2 weeks, right? But what I'm saying here essentially is that if I want to make content and if I genuinely have something to share, I'm gonna do it. But if I do not want to do it, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and force myself and do shit. Because why? Really think about this. There's a cult of this toxic productivity. People think that they have to, put it like this. People think it's like a badge of honor that, if you work like 12 hours a day, I have worked like hard 5 days in a row, 5 years, excuse me, like monk mode, building a business. I have 100 million net worth. But so what? So what? What's the point of fucking skipping your life for like that illusionary, imaginary tomorrow? You can enjoy every day and still have like a fucking successful business. You can still have everything that you want without struggling, without working hard, right? So when you're using fear of failing, I have announced my goals publicly in front of my audience, in front of my subscribers, but then you are using that to fuel the growth, to make yourself take action in your business. That's fucking pathetic. It's not like a loving frequency. It's not like passion and joy. It's literally, it's fucking fear, right? And just imagine with fear, like on a scale, like it's pretty low, right? So let's just imagine that we have these frequencies. So let's say love is going to be somewhere like up. So let's go here. And then we have fear. So let me ask you a question. When you are creating something, a piece of art, whatever that is, when you're doing something from the point of fear, like from this state of fear, is it going to be any good? I have this silly example that I just thought about. Imagine you want to start a family. You want to have kids. So, like, if you have kids out of this like fear, like you having sex, right? And you like it's ridiculous even to think about this, right? This is a bit of a silly example, but it does its job of like describing what I'm saying here. So I think that's ridiculous. Now another one that kill your identity, your old identity, and build yourself through suffering, right? And this is the very toxic kind of belief that I don't know why so many people in this reality, why you have it. It's like a life equals to like struggle or maybe hard work. Or maybe sacrifice, right? All that fucking bullshit, right? But if you think so, it's going to be right in your reality, but not because it's objectively right, but just because it is, how to say, but just because you made it right in your mind. And reality, it is neutral. Like, reality is not against you. So if you're not seeing the success that you want, whether that's like your mental state, your physical state, or like your business, maybe like you have the money but you're not enjoying it, it's all inside you. There's really no one like standing outside and creating your life, right? Okay, and the last one for this video, which is just actually just to finish the point again, let's finish up. I think, and what I've seen, so many people are living this illusion that life is struggle. You need to earn, you need to work hard, you need to like sacrifice. No. If you think so, yes, you will experience that, but it is as easy as changing your mind. Yes, it might be like a little bit, it might sound too easy, but I gave you this analogy that every single thought, every single idea that you have in your mind, and every single thought that you are investing your attention in, at some point, it's going to turn into something physical. Like, you think a thought, then you change your state, and then that state, it creates your reality. So let me ask you a question. If you think that building a big business is hard, if you think that success is hard, if you think that making money is hard, if you think that fucking whatever, making content is hard, it's competition, blah, 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 what do you think that you're creating in your reality? You're creating more suffering. You are creating more of the things that you do not want to experience, right? Life is easy if you decide so. And if you have enough conviction and like you just know it for a fact, you do not need proof, and you're not even believing it. Because believe it assumes that there might be a little bit of doubt. But when we are talking about actually knowing, right? I know I'm holding this pen, right? This is how uncompromised, this is the type of delusional, what people would call delusional self-belief. Just because I said so, that's already a fact, and I know this. And when you know this, how you want this reality to treat you, how much money you want to have in your business, and so on and so on. And again, without putting too much attachment, it's like, I know that for sure. It's like a fucking game, right? It's just all like a simulation inside this infinite intelligence, right? Okay, and the last one. So the guy was basically talking how he delegated literally everything. He does not even use his he's not using the dishes, he's not doing the laundry. He said that like, I don't even know how to do my laundry because like I delegated everything. Let me ask you a question to all the successful people out there. You have like a fucking Lambo, you think like you're this like big guy. Bitch. Is that the life that you want? Do you fucking feel happy? Or do you feel like this, like a cog inside your business? Inside this fucking pathetic, boring ass business? Do you enjoy doing your business every day? Every single thing? Managing your team, making content? Probably not. There's some parts in your business that you probably do not like that much. And another thing which I found like so extremely funny, people are so obsessed with like, buy back your time. What else? Save time. Optimize your time, right? Where you forget to fucking live. You know, like it's so funny. I get such good ideas when I'm just cleaning my house. You can see I have a lot of plans, like pretty crazy amount, to be honest. Like you're not even seeing like everything that is behind the this frame, this shot on the camera on the other side of the room. But do you like to feel like a fucking machine, like a fucking robot, following the routine, grinding every day? Is that a fucking life that you want? Because at the end of the day, people want to have money just because they want freedom. But first you have freedom, and then the money comes. When you feel free, when you feel abundant, no matter what, okay, my business project failed, fuck it, okay, I'll make a new one. Nothing is a big deal. You're not attached, you're not rushing. But most of you bitches, you're rushing, that you're literally just delegating everything. To what? To sit and fucking mentally masturbate in front of your computer for like 12 hours a day? What are you doing here, you bitch? What are you doing inside in front of your computer? Is it something interesting? Or you're just fucking, I don't know. Like as I said, doing this AI slop, making AI slop content, mentally masturbating to your like KPIs, like all that shit, right? That's what people do. Anyway, I want you to watch these 2 videos if you have patience, like if you actually want to think for yourself, or you can stay retarded, that's also fine. Like, you just watched my video, then you forgot about it, okay, you fuck off, right? But okay guys, one more time, if you want to get paid to exist, if you're a creator, if you are a online entrepreneur, whatever, right, check out the link in the description. I'm going to be launching something very, very exclusive for a very small group of people. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.